Hello, people of the internet. I'm Nick from Oceanic Magic. This is Jellyfish,
aka ATM24 from my channel,
which will be in the description below. But anyway, this video is going to be about regionals, and since ours is coming up in, what's today, the 18th?
24th.
I mean,
Today is currently the 18th, yes.
So 6 days until our regionals. We thought we would help out some of the players going to this regionals by making Yu-Gi-Oh! Tips and Tricks, episode number 2, about how to be prepared for big events. Now, this video could be applied to locals. We're just using regionals because
that's what we're going to.
That's what we're going to. We don't have a local event anymore until we make one up. So, where do we want to start with this?
Let's start with your deck.
Yeah, you want to make sure that your deck is fully sleeved. Bring extra sleeves just in case they split, and make sure they're relatively new. Old sleeves can crack, and there could be like lines and dots and marks on the sleeve.
And that's called being a marked player, and you can actually get in trouble for that.
Yeah, if a judge finds that you have marked sleeves, if it was your fault or not, you will get kicked out.
Yeah, and you might get banned.
You will be considered a cheater because with a marked sleeve, you'll know what card it is, and you'll know that's the card that you're drawing when you see it.
And
so the judges would think that you're cheating, even though it may not be your fault.
The locals, kind of roughly on that, but it's all dependent on your locals. But regionals are really strict when it comes to that.
Yeah. So basically what you want to do is, this is what we're going to do. Well, we have new sleeves, but like, I'm probably going to have to do
relatively new.
Yeah, relatively new. But we're going to bring extras with us, and...
By new, probably.
Yeah, and like, the day before or the day of before the tournament begins, buy some more sleeves so that you have them. Make sure that you have your deck, make sure you know the list you want, make sure you've tested it, make sure you have sleeves for your deck.
Have your deck either sorted out or written on a paper, because when you go to regionals, they want a deck list so you know you're not flipping flopping it depending on the guys you're playing. So, like, side, extra, and everything, make sure you have it all sorted out, make sure it's either written down on one of those two so you can do it a lot faster and it's a lot easier.
Oh, the pain.
Yeah.
Anyway, they also want your deck list because they want to make sure that you're following the ban list.
Yeah, that too.
So, make sure that either you have it written out already, or it's sorted out by Monster Spell Trap extra side, so you can just write it out. It takes 10 minutes, done, get your packs, whatever.
Make sure you have everything for your deck, and make sure you have everything. Like, no matter what it is, we should go over near the end of it, but make sure you have everything for your deck. Make sure you have every card you want. Don't be like, ooh, I guess I'll just get the card next time or something. No, make sure you have it, because trust me, you're going to need every card you need for your deck specifically. If you're playing, I don't care what it is, Clown Blade, Burning Abyss, Citadels, make sure you have everything.
Yeah, there was actually a guy at a regionals before the last one we went to.
Yeah.
He put in his deck list, and he didn't have all the cards, so he started playing without them. The judges found out he got kicked out and banned for 2 years.
Dang.
Yeah. You need to have the entire deck.
Sam almost did that, too.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's okay to buy cards, like, from a vendor when you're there for your deck.
Yeah, but don't put them in the deck just because you...
If you turn in the deck list, you're supposed to have every card for that deck.
Yeah.
And if you don't and they find out, you're screwed.
Well... They might be reasonable if you like lose a card and it's not in your extra deck or something, but that's just, it's not like it's gonna erupt the board or anything.
Well, it's like if you're playing Necros and you say that you have 3 Valkyries, but you only have 2 Valkyries, and the other card was like a Thunder King and you didn't tell them.
Yeah. Then you're getting in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if you're like, you have like a cowboy and like somebody stole it and you're like, oh, so I lost my cowboy, it's not gonna be a big deal.
Yeah, but it's like, if you say that you're playing 1 Thunder King, but you slip a second one in your deck and they find out, you're screwed.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah, but make sure your deck is complete. Make sure your deck is decked out, ironically. Make sure you have everything you want, everything you need. Make sure you have a really good deck list. Because regionals is not like locals. They won't just have random... They will have rogue decks, but these rogue decks will have so much stuff in it. You have to make sure your deck is flawless, basically. This is what I do.
When you go to a large event, you need to expect meta.
Not a meta. If you hate meta, don't go.
If you hate meta, either play meta and beat the meta decks in a mirror match, or play anti-meta like I am and say, go kill yourself.
Make sure you are prepared. Make sure you have food, because it's going to be a long time. You want to have at least enough money to get a pizza, at least. Because usually what we do, we play about halfway through the thing, we'll get hungry, we'll go to like McDonald's or something. He'll get his fries because he's obsessed with fries, and I'll get my food, and we'll come back, and then we'll play the other half and go home and eat. Because it's going to be really early, really long, and you're going to want food and everything. Yeah,
most regionals, at least from what we've seen, are 8 to 9 rounds.
Yeah.
And if you're like Pandemonium, where we go to... Anyway. The extra turns take forever. Like, we were actually... Like, there was a Family Dollar, like, a block and a half away. So we walked out from Pandemonium. This place is huge. We had to walk out the actual store, walk to the Family Dollar, wait in a long ass line, come back to Pandemonium, and they still weren't done with time.
And actually, I had enough time to go with my buddy John, who wanted food. So we went all the way to McDonald's, which was a little bit farther than that. Came back, and then they just finished. Finished. Sorry, I can't pronounce my words. Another thing, make sure you don't have to have it, but it's nice to help. Make sure you have a mat, because those things are dirty, so you want to have a mat. And make sure you have a deck box, and make sure you have. Okay, this is a must. You have to have a calculator or paper or something to keep track of your life points. Do not always rely on your phone because it could die if it's long. But have at least a second backup to keep track of life points because you don't want to trust everybody. I'm not saying everybody liars, but you might want to trust everybody. I mean, you might not.
That's true. You always this is like the 7 or 8 materials you're gonna need. You're gonna need your deck. You're gonna need you're gonna need your playmat.
Extra sleeves.
You're gonna need extra sleeves. You're going to need a deck box. You're going to need a way to track life points, any way, shape, or form. You're going to need some dice because you're going to have to figure out how to start. So you're going to want to bring some dice, and you might need them for counters. So bring some dice
and a ride back and forth,
and a legitimate way to get there to and from the event in a safe manner.
Yeah. Because
you don't want to show up and your ride's like, okay, I'm going to be here at this specific time, but you want to leave early and you can't, and you're screwed.
Another again, if you have a buddy who's giving you a ride, Nick, he's giving me a ride at Regionals. We made a pact saying no matter how bad I'm doing and he's doing amazing and I feel like going home, we're going to play through the whole thing. Or if he's doing bad and I'm doing amazing, he's not going to go home. We're going to stay through the whole thing. Unless we're both getting like 0-9, we're not going to leave and we're going to stay there. So make sure everybody in the party wants to go. Unless they have another ride, then you can just ditch them.
You can just get rid of them, yeah.
Yeah. Covered food, we covered everything. Okay. Make sure do not set everything up until you get those packs and open them, because that if you're playing a deck that could actually use something out of the packs, you can slip them in there, and then you can pick your deck list so you don't get in trouble.
That's true. You can sign what they did to us is that there were 2 separate lines, one to sign up and one for the deck list.
Yeah.
And what they do is at the start of the first round, they'll walk around and collect the deck list. So it's like you'll sit down and you'll say to your opponent, "Hey, how you doing?" And they'll send judges around and they'll get your deck list. Yeah. So if you sign up and you're missing a card out of a set and you're lucky enough to pull it, you can throw it in there.
And I've seen
just as long as it's legitimate and you put it on the deck list.
Oh, and actually, I think it was Shardal's came out with that new water fusion. Everyone was trying to get it before they set up everything. So everyone was trading and everything. I was playing Battery Man and he was playing Dark World, so we didn't really need anything out of the set. Unless like you want to buy like a Ragnar Zero like I did. Or
I was trying to build your Senju, so I needed loose turns.
A Lavalval chain. Like that stuff, you can buy that and add it in, anything, but make sure you have everything set and make sure you have every card before you put your deck list in.
Another thing, too, is to have money.
Extra money.
Yeah, you need to bring the money that it takes to get into regionals, no matter how much it is, 10, 20, 50 bucks.
Ours is 20.
Ours is 20, but it depends on person to person.
Yeah.
Bring money for food, just in case you can't actually bring physical food, you need to go buy some.
Yeah.
Or, like, you want to buy cards. You need money to do that.
You're not allowed to buy other people's cards. You're not allowed to, by the little tip, you do not buy for trades because you will get kicked out. Their rule is, at least at ours, is you're not allowed to buy another person's card. You're only allowed to buy from them.
You're only allowed to buy from the vendors.
Yeah.
You're only allowed to buy from Pandemonium themselves and by the vendors.
And if you need extra, if you need extra money, you can actually get all the cards you got out of the packs you don't want at all and you don't feel like they're good trades. Just give them back to the vendors and they'll give you money for it.
It's true. They'll take mostly anything and everything.
Yeah, so if you have some random cards that nobody really wants, but it's just worth money, like say you have like original Blue Eyes that's worth like $25, there you go, get $25. Oh, well not 25, they might give you like $15, half of it.
Yeah, that's what most people do.
Yeah, fun. So my girlfriend's texting me. She's being like clingy, I guess. And
another thing too is make sure that all the information that you have is correct.
Oh yeah, don't be going there blind.
You don't want to go there at 10:30 and they started at 8 and you're late and you can't sign up.
Yeah. Or you get there like we did at like what 6:30 or 7.
Like we woke up at 5 in the morning
and got there by like 7.
And we left my house at 7. We got there at 7:45, and there were already 100 people outside the door and they didn't open for another 2 hours.
Yeah.
We could have just stayed home and slept, had some coffee.
Yeah.
Went on Death Pro or something, did a little bit of testing.
Yeah. But our friend John didn't tell us because that last regional was our first regionals. And since we know what they expect, or know what we're going to do, but we didn't expect what to happen. And John just told us they started a lot earlier than they really did, so we got there really too early. Like, there is the thing being early, but there's the thing being too early.
Like, if you're there so early that 100 people already beat you to the door, that's depressing.
No, you mean you beat already 100 people to the door.
Well, I'm just saying it's depressing that there were 100 people already there.
Yeah, true. But they wanted to get there early.
But it's like, if you show up 2 hours early, find something to do, because you don't want to be sitting there waiting for the manager to unlock the door just so you can wait for them to unlock even more doors.
Oh, little no tip. You can do it if you want, but what we're not going to do is don't go around telling people what you play. Because our friend John, it irritated me personally. I don't know about you. He was going around and was like, oh, he's playing Dark World, I'm playing Lightsworn, he's playing Batteryman. It's like, bro, the reason why we're playing these kind of decks is, for one, I play Batteryman for the surprise, so nobody's going to expect it. But now they know, so they're like, oh, he's going to play Batteryman, I guess I can just do this. Don't tell people your deck list until, like, they need to find out, unless you summon, say if I was playing Batteryman, they had no idea, nobody ever plays Batteryman, so if I would have just came out with a Fuel Cell, they would be like, what the fuck? Don't tell people your deck list. Don't tell them anything about your deck. You can tell them what decks you'd like to play and what decks you were thinking about playing, but don't tell them specifically what you're playing.
And the other thing, too, is don't go around saying other people's deck list.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
They will fucking murder you. Like, there was a guy...
It's not just being, like, murdering. It's just being, like, a nice person. Like, you want to be nice here. Like, you
can walk around and see the area and see, like, what people want to reveal to you.
Yeah, if you see people testing, it's like, they're testing. Go on. Just walk around, like, oh, he's playing...
Yeah, and it's like, you could ask... It's like, you could ask them, it's like, hey, do you mind if I sit down and watch? And most people are like, sure, yeah, they don't care. So you could watch them play, figure out their play style, just in case you have to face them in the tournament. Yeah. You have a little bit of extra information.
Oh yeah, play test before you go. By the way, you want to play test.
Oh yeah, test a lot.
This whole week we've been play testing and dueling and everything, and the day of and the day before we're gonna be testing so much and so hard. And when you get there, don't show people like. Usually what we're gonna do is probably go in the corner so nobody can really bother us. We're gonna test as much as we can. Yeah. We don't want people to see our deck list. We want the surprise factor because again we're playing some decks people don't really play a lot. Well, they do, but not a lot.
Yeah. You just want to stay hidden, like at least for Panda they have free Wi-Fi, which is like the only thing good about them. So we're gonna bring the computer and some other information, like other technical things with us.
And I'll bring my phone so I can start videotaping and showing you guys how it looks and everything. If you guys want tips on that.
Yeah, we can do some updates and like we'll try and get some deck profiles from like people who like top the event.
Yeah.
Or I'll try and get the person who wins the event to give me a deck profile.
Maybe.
If they would, that'd be great.
How long do you want this video to be? Decent.
Yeah, I don't care. We can keep going.
Okay. A link description below for me is ATM24 for my channel. Please give me some views and everything. I would love it because he's bragging all the time. He was like, oh, I got subscribers and whatnot. I'm lame. I only got 3, but I got some views, so yeah.
I'm not bragging about it. I just mentioned it.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so is there anything we're missing before we wrap this up?
Let me think a little bit because there is a lot of things that you do want to make sure. Oh yeah, trading binder. You want your trading binder. There's so many good trades you can get in trading binder. You bring whatever, trust me, whatever cards you think are going to be for the trades, just bring them just in case. Fill up your thing to the brick end to end, no matter what. And trust me, I think I traded 3 God cards that were worth like 3 cents and everything. This guy wanted them so bad, he gave me a Ragnar Zero and a Cowboy. And I was like, sure, why not? And I got a Cowboy and a Ragnar Zero for worthless cards I already had copies of. And if you have like multiple copies and you feel like playing a deck, say like you're playing, I don't know, Burning Abyss. Say you're playing Burning Abyss and you have 3 Dante and for some reason you have a 4th one. Somebody's going to want it. If it's like, somebody's going to want it. There's always somebody who wants something out of your trading binder. No matter what you have, unless you don't have one like this. I have a trading binder personally, and there's always at least one person that wants something out of your trading binder.
Basically, I don't trade because really I don't have anything people want. Like, we've already analyzed that. I have anything that, like, the only deck I have is just Senjus, and I can't trade anything out of that because if I do, I'm screwed, so I have to keep it.
Well, I have Synchrons in my trading binder because I don't really want to play them much because they're okay, but I really don't want to play them. Plus, I got a Nostalgia deck back. But people might want them. Somebody would be like, oh, I'll trade you a whole deck, this whole deck for a bunch of cards. And I'd be like, oh, sweet, more cards. I can help with my deck.
Yeah, so basically, in order to wrap this up, in order to prepare for regionals, we forgot this. Rule number 1, take a shower and get some rest.
Okay, first of all, let me talk about this because this one's personally me. Because, no offense to our friend, but we have like a lot of friends, so they probably don't know which one we're talking about. It's he or she. Sometimes when he or she comes around or went to regionals or anything, he forgot to shower when he went to regionals, so it's one of our group of friends. He forgot to shower, and he was wearing the same clothes. Well, not the same clothes, but kind of old clothes, so he didn't really smell very good. It wasn't like bad, but it was not good. And he didn't really sleep because when we all spent the night, none of them really slept. I slept because I was smart, and he couldn't sleep because they were being dumb. But we all tested everything. You want to be nice and rested. You want to be nice and clean because you just feel good about yourself. I'm always clean. I'm just that kind of person.
Yeah, me and him have like super good hygiene. Like
Yeah.
we always wear different clothes every day. We always brush our teeth.
Well, to be honest, if I wear jeans and they're not dirty, I'll wear them again. Like the next
Same, but that's because we're poor and we can't afford jeans.
No, it's not that. Just
That's a
because
different point for a different video.
it's-
Anyway,
Yeah, it's just because if they don't get dirty.
have good hygiene, take a shower, brush your teeth, you know, put on some decent clothes so you don't look like a douche.
Oh, and here's a little tip that I like to do, and we like doing. A little secret is, when you go to regionals, you do not want to like test all week and then a day of just to get a lot of rest and just sleep early, then sleep over, then just go. Because what you want to do is sleep, wake up. I say we're gonna make an hour early so we get everything ready. About an hour early.
Yeah.
We're gonna wake up an hour or get half an hour to get everything ready and situated. We know we have everything. And then I think we're gonna have about 25 minutes to like test and get used to like the mojo of dueling, because you want to get like used to dueling. You want to be in the mood. And then in 5 minutes we'll just again check everything, get food and everything situated, and we'll leave.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure that this time, like, we're gonna set an alarm. We're gonna have everything ready. I'm gonna make sure that my mom can actually drive us. And so we're gonna go at a certain time. We're gonna be there at a certain time. We're gonna have our stuff already organized.
Yeah.
That's like rule number super one: is be organized.
Yeah.
Have everything in the place you want it, and make sure that you have everything.
Yeah. Oh, here's the wrap this thing up is just one more tip. What I like to do, which I'm probably gonna do, is with my phone. You're obviously seeing me blaming on it because my girlfriend. I like to listen to music when I play. So I'll put like a headphone in and listen to music while I get the mojo. So you always want to be like in a certain mood, like to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And to be like in a certain mood to get into everything and really think and actually like do everything in a specific way where you know you can win. And what else am I know I'm missing something. Oh, okay. This is about your deck. You have no idea. No idea that people do this, and actually a lot of people do this surprisingly. I've seen like multiple people. Don't go to regionals. I get if you just want to test it out and have fun with it. Do not go to regionals with your buddy's deck, like a deck that you have no idea how to use or just run. I had somebody come in to regionals with a Ritual Beast deck. Again, one of the most really complicated decks. Came to had no idea how to play it, and he just got angry and upset. I was like, he had a deck too. He had I think it was Modolches. He had Modolches, and he knew that deck inside and out. Always go for a deck that you know inside and out than a new deck you just got that day. Or just don't go because you're not going to have fun.
The reason you test for regionals is because you already... Sorry about that. I just Well, the reason you're testing for regionals is because you're testing a deck that you already have experience with.
And you already know.
You already know that's the deck you want to play.
And you want to get new tricks and tips how to win. You don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to play, I don't know, you don't want to play Cosmos the whole time and know everything about the deck, and then the next day just be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to play Burning Abyss. And you don't know anything about it. And your computer just went out.
There you
go. But that's just to wrap it up to make sure you have everything. So to round it off, you go ahead.
Yeah, just to wrap it off, rule number one is be organized, have everything, have good hygiene, bring every material you need, no matter how irrelevant you think it is, bring it because you're probably going to need it. If you're bringing technology, bring a charger. That's relevant because most places have free Wi-Fi and they have chargers everywhere so you can plug in your phone.
Don't only just double check, but triple check you have every single thing you want, and make sure you get up early to make sure you have everything, and do have a little testing, so make sure you do that.
Also, you want to, what's the thing? Bring some hygiene stuff with you.
Yeah.
Like, I've actually seen people do this. Like, I walked into the bathroom one time, and there was a guy who just brought mouthwash and toothpaste and whatnot, and he was brushing his teeth in the public bathroom.
Yeah.
And if you absolutely think that you're going to need to do it, do it.
Yeah. We missed one big important thing before we wrap this up. Actually, two. Again,
video's 20 minutes. Just keep going.
Get there early. So, if you're a little late, you're just on time. And here's another one thing. Number one absolute thing that I can't remember now because I'm dumb, that I just thought of. Can't think of it. I just thought of it, too. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Talk about something while I think of it.
Alright, well, basically, because we're stalling, we're trying to wrap this up.
Yeah, no, I can't think of that one important rule.
Hygiene, bring stuff with your deck, make sure that you have spare sleeves, make sure that everything with your deck is complete and legit. Ban list is kind of important. Make sure you know what ban list you're going under so you know what decks are good under it and what decks are bad under it. So that way you can figure out what you want to play. Money, bring a decent amount of cash so you can buy food, get into the event. If you have to, buy some cards from some vendors, buy some sleeves if you're missing some sleeves. What else is there?
I had one big one. I can't think of it.
I think I know which one you're talking about. I was trying to remember it.
Yeah, no, it was like something really
We
important.
should probably script these before we do these again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
So we're having a big brain fart.
Make sure that you have your ride there, or if you're an adult, make sure you have gas in your goddamn car. Because I remember there was this one time, I was talking to the guy I was playing against, this Necros guy, and he found out that when he got to the event, he was out of gas in his car, and he didn't bring any money, so he couldn't put gas in his car. So we had to call a tow truck to take his car home, so he could put money in it later, and then he had to take the bus. And it was one of the worst things he ever had to do, because he was wearing like a decent suit because he had just got out of church. And so he forgot he wasted all his gas from going from his house to his church. So he had like a fancy ass suit on. He was sitting on the public bus, and it was like the worst thing ever.
All right, I remembered it. It's probably not the one I was thinking of, but I just thought of another one that's really important. It might not seem important to you, but it really is. Try not to go by yourself. Bring at least one other person. I'm bringing him, or like a good group of people.
I'm bringing you, dumbass.
Same thing, whatever. I'm going with him, okay? And make sure you have a good group of people, because if you know people there and you're talking, you're having a good time, you're going to enjoy yourself, you're going to play a lot better. Plus, get to know the guy you're dueling, ask him questions, ask people around you, get social. He probably won't do this because he doesn't like to, but I like to get social and everything. So make sure you do that.
Well, it's basically just acknowledge to your opponent that they took the time and effort as a human being to go to this event, to sit down and stare you in the eye so that you could play. Mainly to, I guess, have fun, but you're really there just so you can win, so you can get the invite to nationals.
Yeah.
So just acknowledge the fact that they're there. Like,
yeah, and talk to them and make sure you have fun. I know you're there. You go, I want to win. I want to go to get top 32 and all that. Have fun. Don't get all cranky and everything. Just if you lose your first duel, big deal. Just try to go win 8-1. Like I said, have fun.
That could be another thing too. Is Although we set standards for ourselves,
yeah,
we try not to have standards.
Yeah, true.
It's nice to have a goal. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Like we have the goal of, since it's going to be 8 rounds, we want to go at least 5-3. If we can go 5-3, we've accomplished our goal.
Maybe 6-3 if it's 9 rounds.
Yeah, if it's 9 rounds, it'll be 6-3. Or we're gonna try and go like 6-2 or 7-2, depending on how many rounds there are. You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but again, don't get angry at yourself and don't get attitude. Do not get the angriest and do not just give up because if you do, you're going to play awful. Make sure you always have a positive attitude and make sure you always be like, oh, okay, if I do this and this, I can get out of this. Always really think, like, no matter what situation, play until the last life points hits yourself or the win condition fails. You don't want to be sitting there with, like, 900 life points and I get, no, not 900. How much does Cowboy hit you for?
800.
Okay, 900 life points and I bring out Cowboy, and they hit you for one and they still have Cowboy and you don't have anything in your hand and you just drew off. You'd be like, oh, okay, I just scooped. You know what could happen? Could have drew that one card you could have helped. You could have drew the record deck key and you could have had nothing else and you could have just won the game. Play until the last second. Play until the last life points. Because, trust me, when I play him now, I always learn this. Usually when he's about to win, I used to scoop. Don't ever scoop.
It's really John who does that.
Yeah, John. Oh, yeah, our friend John would just scoop all the time. But if he has like 3 Revenge in his hand and he's like bouncing back to hand next turn you lose, wait, don't be like, oh, I scoop. Really think about your plays and be like, can I get anything out of this? And if you don't think you do the best you can, and you never know. You could, next turn you could have survived, or draw, okay, here's my pay, and if you lose respectfully, don't just scoop. Shake his hand, be like, okay, good game and everything.
Yeah, that's something Magic has taught me, is that being a control player, you know the games are going to go long, and you know that they're going to be tedious. But you also have to know the fact that there's always a card in your deck that can save you.
Always something, and you always.
However, the only time that you can ever concede is if A, they have the win condition and they just show it to you like it's Exodia. Or B, you absolutely 100% know that there are absolutely no outs in your entire deck.
If you have
like if you went through both your Dark Holes, your Raigeki, your Soul Charge, and your Book of Moon,
and like you banish your entire graveyard, you have nothing in your hand,
you have
nothing
left, that's when you can concede.
And then you draw one card and it's like, oh, I just drew a MST, and you set the MST. And then he MSTs your MST, oh, well, you can see then because you have nothing. But I'm just saying, play to the point where you know you can't play anymore. Like, not just if you think you can play anymore, know that 100% fact that you can't play anymore.
Basically. Yeah. It's going to be a very long event. We cannot stress this enough.
Like this video, a very long video.
Well, it's not 9.5 hours.
Well, true. It's almost
regionals are going to take a long time. Most rounds are 40 to 50 minutes.
Plus the
extra time can take forever if the judges don't know what they're doing.
Well, not if they take a long time to do the moves. So it could be, I'd say roughly each round is about almost an hour.
A little over an hour.
A little over an hour.
If you're playing 8-9 rounds and you know that these rounds are going to take like an hour something each and you finish early, bring something to do so you have so you have time to pass.
We're gonna bring our like extra cards and have fun and trade and everything. But I'm gonna bring music and I'm gonna bring my phone and an extra charger. So. And
I'll bring my computer and whatnot, make some videos because free Wi-Fi again. That.
So I think we should wrap it up since it hit 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
Well, when you're preparing for regionals, like every regional video that I've seen is like at least 20 minutes because it takes a long time to go into it.
Yeah. So let's wrap it up with things we're gonna do in the future. Yeah. Again, every Saturday on my channel we do our top 3 favorites, whatever we're gonna do. Last time we did archetypes and artwork, technically, half and half. And then on his channel, every Saturday we do, what was every Saturday?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Tips and Tricks.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Tips and Tricks, Dad.
Which is the regional one, which is a little longer than the ones. We keep them around 10 minutes. But we made this so long because this is very, very important. This is an event that happens every 3 months.
This is more to the competitive players, not the
this is more for the novice to competitive players who want to know what to do.
Oh, by the way,
like if you're going
I just remembered the idea.
Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, guys, if I remember. Do not be scared at all to read the card's effect. That was the big rule.
Yes!
I'm sorry, let me explain this.
That's rule number 2. But
my friend Chris. Sorry, Chris, I gotta tell you this. He was playing, and I watched him, and he was like, looking at the card.
Oh, yeah, we were there, I saw that.
Yeah, he was looking at the card like he didn't know what to do, and he was so like, again, we were all new. I didn't care, I read the card. But he was new, that was his first regionals, he was looking at the card like he didn't know what to do, and I knew he didn't know what to do because he never played it before.
Well, like, we saw his hand, and
it was out.
We knew what the card did.
Yeah.
And Chris didn't.
Yeah, and then he was like, that's fine.
And I whispered in his ear, it's like, hey, he's got the out.
Yeah, and then he was sitting there
Chris is just like, what the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah, and he sat there, he was like, oh, it's fine. He summoned, I think it was a monster. He summoned a monster. I think he had a summon. He was like, yeah, that's fine. That monster lost him the game. If he would have summoned it, he would have won the game. Don't be scared to read the card effect. Like, I don't care if it's like a card that everybody seems to know. Like, say, Dante. If you don't know Dante, like, I'm saying this card, you have no idea what you're doing, and somebody plays it, and you're like, oh, what is this? And he just does it, and you're like, oh, I don't care. I guess it's okay. Read the card so you know what you want to do. That was the big rule. I finally hit it. Make sure you read everything. Make sure you don't know what to do, and make sure you know exactly what's going on. Because if you're just sitting there like, okay, go ahead, no, you're gonna lose. Make sure you know everything that's happening, because you know you could have something.
That's another really important thing too. Is as much as you know the meta, make sure at least you know the rulings around your deck.
Plus, if you know the card, but not really, make sure you double read the card. So somebody could mistake his own card. You'd be like, okay, no, like, I don't know. Okay, I know what's summon, and I target this trap card. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, it can't be targeted. Read your card, and it's like, oh, it doesn't target. He's like, it doesn't target, but it could have targeted. Make sure you read things. Like, stuff like that, like, oh, my card can't be targeted. This doesn't target. Make sure you read it, then make sure it doesn't target, because some people mistake.
Yeah. And this video is getting to half an hour. Let's wrap this up.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I just had
with the 10 to 12 important things. Rule number 1, motherfucker, read.
Read everything.
Super duper super read. Like, this is the last time we're gonna do this like top 10 list.
Yeah.
Super read. Number 2,
be
organized hygiene. Or number 3, hygiene. Take a goddamn shower. Number 4,
bring backup sleeves, backup everything.
Bring backup everything, including hygiene stuff. Number 5, have your deck list ready for you so that you don't have to waste time organizing and looking. Because when you spread out your deck, people can look at it and see what it is. Don't.
Write it down. Number 6.
Money or food.
Yes.
Number 7, transportation.
Actually, I would say number 7 would be, transportation, and we'll put a little slash in this, we're just doing the top 7 things you have to have. Make sure you have play testing before you go.
Yes.
The day of.
That can be number 8. Number 8 is play testing. Yeah. Don't go into this event unprepared. Make sure that you have a lot of testing. Make sure you know your deck inside and out.
And don't even wait. Like, don't be like playtesting the day before, sleep, and then go. Playtest the day of, so you can get the mojo.
Yes. Like, really early in the morning, you can wake up, have a couple of duels, have your coffee, and then get out the door. Okay. It's not that hard.
I think that's it.
Well, we have 2.
Oh, make sure you get there early.
Number 9 is go early.
And number 10, I would say,
go with someone else.
Go with somebody else and be prepared about what happens.
Go with some buddies. Number 11 is just to enjoy yourself. Really.
Enjoy. It's always a good time to duel. Make sure it's like you want to win, but have fun. I'm trying to make him sure he has this. This is his problem sometimes when he loses. I want to make sure he's having a good time. He's going to talk to me. We're going to hang out. We're going to be a great blast.
Yeah, and number 12 is, let's see, how do I want to word this?
Have a good goal for you.
Yes, have a mindset
And a
So-
goal.
Yeah, those are two different things. A goal and a mindset. A goal is something that you want to reach. A mindset is already what's in your head, and you can't change that.
Yeah.
So if you have the goal of going 6-2, but you have the mindset of going 2-6, if you do go 2-6, then you're not going to be disappointed.
But I would say
because your mindset was already there.
But make sure your mindset's decently high. Don't be like, I want to go even at least. That's the lowest I want to go. Even. That's usually what I do. I want to go even. That's always at the worst I do. I want to go even. But my goal is usually this year, I think it's just, I want to make the top 32, obviously. That's my goal.
Yeah, everyone wants to make top 32. But
That's my goal.
But there's a reason it's the top 32. You need to be the best of the best to do it.
Yeah. And then, that's about it. That's everything wrapped up, right?
Yep, so this is half an hour. If you don't want to watch it, that's fine.
If you watched everything, thank you. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Share this so that people can get better at the game.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm Nick. This is Jellyfish. Peace the fuck out.
See ya.
And yes, that was from The Amazing Atheist.